Everybody, and welcome to my video about my first 20 years of Pokemon, which is actually 18, considering, it didn't come to the West, didn't come to North America until 1996, but, whatever, we're going to call it 20 because it's the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. I said I was going to do this video in my last video, which is actually going to be uploading, ironically, about the same time as this video, but it is my speculation as to what will be next for Game Freak to announce, or Nintendo to announce, for Pokemon. And I hope you all go ahead and watch that video. I will leave an annotation up top, I'm pretty sure. And you guys can go ahead and watch it. If not, it will be in the description. If not there, you'll be able to find it right by this video on my on my list of videos, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. That being said, let's get down to it because we have 18 years to cover in a short amount of time because I don't want to have you guys here all day. And really, there's not much to say, I guess. But either way, first game I ever got, I was on, I live in Utah, born and raised in Utah for the most part, but I was going to visit my grandparents in Nevada, and my dad had this big surprise for me. He wouldn't say what it was, of course, and he said, okay, we're going to, it's a 6-hour drive, so he gave me comic books, gave a dyslexic kid comic books, who was 5, so a 5-year-old dyslexic child with comic books. I drove him absolutely up the wall, over there, because concept of time is absolute jack when you're 5 years old. Either way, I annoyed he and my mom so much when by the 2-3 hour mark. He's pretty much like, screw it. He's like, okay, I'll give you it early if you just shut up, basically, because that's kind of the way he was at that time. And so what did he give me? He gave me this thing right here. I still have this, my Grasshopper Green Game Boy Color, and he gave me a Pokemon Blue version, which is not right here. I'm just joking. It isn't right here. This is actually Power Rangers, I believe. Yeah, there it is. But the blue version got stolen or lost a ways back. I had like 5 red versions as well. Again, stolen or lost a ways back. But that's actually where that was my first experience with Pokemon. I turned this thing on, just like so. It was great. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the games a lot, or the game a lot. And I remember I got stuck at Professor Oak's lab for a good long time because I kept trying to run into the route, and obviously it's like, go to the professor's lab. Of course, it doesn't make you go there in the first games. And as a dyslexic 5-year-old kid, I didn't read it. I couldn't read it, and so it might as well have been a foreign language to me. And so I went ahead and I just kept walking around, and eventually I did tumble into the lab because there's only so many options in there. But it took me a little while, probably like 2-3 hours on something that could take me like a minute. But I digress. Then, of course, an entirely different battle when he says go to get Pokeballs, because I'm clicking on everything. Of course, I think I actually found the Pokeballs pretty quick because they're like ooh shiny. They're the one thing in that lab you actually really want to look at. And I went through all of them, and I didn't know how it worked. Of course, I didn't know I was able to choose. So I believe the first Pokemon I ever picked was Charmander. I don't know why. Perhaps because Charmander was the center. And I don't know. Maybe I like symmetry. I have no idea. But if my memory serves right, first ever story Pokemon I got was a Charmander, just out of, for some reason. Irony being that Blastoise is my favorite shiny, my favorite Pokemon, and we'll get to that in a second. But I go ahead and I got that, and then went through, and I think in the first month of having it, before I went to daycare, which I already did go to daycare, but before I was allowed to take the game to daycare, because I was always the absent-minded kid, I probably got up to Brock's Gym, and that was it. I got to Pewter City. It's like, I'm done. I don't know what to do after this, and I'm sure I lost horribly. Luckily those memories are repressed, or I just don't have very good recollection of them. But I feel like that's about right. And I had people at daycare who basically beat the game for me. I think most people who went to daycare had older kids like, oh, you do this, and that. And this is before the internet was really in every household, so, or at least dial-up was, but it was before the internet was on phones and all that stuff. And mobile phones are still pretty much in the infancy. But no, it was fun, and I had people help beat the game. Fun. I'll get to the fun fact in a second. But wow, we're already 4 minutes and something. 4 minutes 20 seconds deep, and I barely got up to Pewter City. Okay, so I'm just gonna go quickly. Went through. My parents thought I really enjoyed it. I did, and I begged them to get the second gen when it came out 2 years later. And the second gen I ever got was a swap meet where I actually got a Japanese import of Silver. Of course, still at the age of 7, dyslexic, and I should be able to read, but I was dyslexic. A Japanese import absolutely had no bearing on my understanding of the game, so it may as well have been English to me, honestly. And I went through and I played that for a little while, but then I'm like, oh, I can get an English one because the kids that would help me at daycare usually to beat these games didn't exactly read Japanese, and so they kind of got angry at me because I got the game almost immediately upon release, and they didn't know what they were supposed to do, or they didn't remember exactly, and so they refused to help me. So of course, me being me, I'm like, Mom, Dad, I need one. I need a different one, and they of course accommodated me because they're really nice to me that way. Went ahead and got that. I got Pokemon Stadium between the two, but we're not even gonna worry about that. And then Pokemon Stadium 2 pretty much immediately afterwards. I got I believe a gold version, an English gold version, and then I got a crystal version. I had yellow version somewhere in there as well. Probably, I feel like I probably got about 99, but I'm backtracking now. I probably should have organized the timeline, but timeline isn't really that important, I suppose. Either way, I went through and I think we got up. I don't think I ever beat Johto, so I never got back into Kanto. So it's a surprise to me when I saw these older kids like getting into Kanto and all that stuff. But I think I probably got to the third, fourth gym by myself, and that was basically what I did. Then got Ruby, and luckily an English version of Ruby. Sorry about my dog barking, and had some people helping me with that. To this day, I have that exact same Ruby version. I'm stuck on the 8th badge. And I just haven't ever bothered to go back and get the 8th badge. But that's because I lost interest in Pokemon after I got Fire Red Leaf Green. Like, I played Fire Red and Leaf Green in the time that I lost interest in Pokemon. But I didn't play the Hoenn or anything after that. So basically just chalk up me doing the remakes or playing the Kanto remakes for the rest of my pretty much good 5-6 years. And then, of course, I'm like, okay, you know what? I want a DS. I want a 3DS. It's actually the same DS as I stream with. It's this red one over here. And, yeah, I went and got that thing, and it's like, okay, well, I need to get a game for it, and I never played anything else really other than Power Rangers and WWF and all that. But I didn't play anything else on Game Boys or Nintendo DSs, I guess, considering they dropped the Game Boy title. But I'm like, okay, well, I might as well go for the most recent Pokemon game. I don't know if I'll like it, but at least I have something I could play. And I got 3DS, of course, when I didn't have the Game Boy Advance port, so I was kind of stuck. With doing that, I didn't really even know. I went in blind because I had some money to blow. I'm like, okay, I'll just get a 3DS because it's a new thing. Got a black version. Really, really, really like black version, and that's what got me back in Pokemon. And then I decided, then I actually went back and beat Sinnoh. And then I went and obviously went to Unova, but I mean not Unova, I was already in Unova. Went to Kalos afterwards, but that's a bit in the future of this story. Went through, played a lot out of Black version. Then when X and Y came out, of course, I got that stuff immediately. Enjoyed that, and then Oris came out. But around the same time as Oris came out, I decided, hey, you know what? I think I can stream. I think I'm good at streaming, so why don't... Or I think I could be good at streaming, so I went ahead and became a Pokemon streamer. Where Zangoose was actually my mascot, because that was one of the first competitive Pokemon I ever got, was Zangoose. Or that I ever bred was Zangoose, because, I mean, Toxic Boost, Facade, you know, not bad, and the speed is amazing, and for a while that worked. But basically, in a nutshell, that's my story. In a condensed form, I probably could have taken longer, but I just want to keep this under 10 minutes, and I'm barely going to do that. But that's just kind of my story. Go ahead and share your stories in the comments below if you'd like to. And if you did enjoy the video and enjoy listening to me rambling about timelines and what I did in Pokemon and nagging my parents and all this stuff, then go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all very much for coming. I hope to see you all next time.